But if I don't want to be the body, and I'm not the body, I say, I am Aham Brahmasmi, I am spirit soul, and the mind is my companion in this material world. And we, mind and body, mind and soul, Jiva, we live in the heart of this strange creature made of pus, blood, stool, urine, etc., like that.
So how does the soul carry the samskaras or the impressions that are in the mind? If the mind is a material, it leaves the mind. But how does
Yeah,
samskaras or the impressions in
well,
my
the jiva has nothing to do with that. The mind is like you can call the mind, or Prabhupada refer to the mind as a subtle body. You've heard of ghosts?
yes?
Have you ever seen one?
No, I'd like to see one.
Oh, they're all over the place. But the thing is that the the when a person dies, this is where ghosts come from. In the West, people are obsessed with burying the dead in boxes in the earth.
Yes.
In India, they do the right thing. They cremate.
Hmm.
When you cremate, all the identifying features of that particular birth, that particular body, are turned into vapor, into ashes and vapor. You can no longer identify with it. But what happens when people die and they're unexpectedly die, like in an accident, or they're drunken, or they fall down a flight of stairs, sometimes pushed by a ghost, and they die and they stay. They don't take the next birth. They stay hovering there. The jiva, the soul, stays inside the mind, and the mind hovers around the body. Well, the jiva hovering inside a mind is called a ghost, an ethereal body. So what happens is that in order to get out of that ethereal body, the ghost either wants to haunt somebody, possess them, get into their body and try to take over the body from whoever's body it happens to be. Or if they're lucky, they can go. Lord Shiva is followed by gazillions of them, isn't he? He's riding Nandi the bull, surrounded by ghosts and demons and whatnot following him, an unlimited number. So if the person, say, even a ghost, could become chanting Hare Krishna, he can take another body, not necessarily a human body, but some sort of body, and gradually come up to the human form of life again. Or he could take a human body. Depends on his state of mind as a ghost, because ghosts get pretty unhappy being ghosts. So they haunt the body at graveyards.
So the subtle
And
body carries the impressions in the mind?
yeah, so the subtle body is the mind.
No, but if you're leaving the mind behind, if it's material, then how is it carrying over to the soul, having a lingering
Well, because when the soul, in the normal course of events, when they don't become a ghost, the soul and the mind leave the body.
Yes.
The body doesn't have any mental activity with the soul. When the jiva is gone, take away the jiva, take away the mind, and all you have is a pile of earth, fire, water, air, and stuff like that, a bunch of material elements. And if you leave those old material elements hanging around, they'll disintegrate. And even if they're not eaten, they will gradually turn into the soil on which they have been laid.
No. My question is, how is the soul carrying on the karmic, deeds? Meaning that,
Well, because when the soul leaves the body that it's in, the soul has accumulated karma, right?
yes. So in
So
the form of karma.
when he takes the next birth, he takes birth appropriate for that karma.
Okay. So then he gets another material mind. And then
Yeah.
So he gets,
or rather, even the same mind, you know?
on the same mind, he continues wherever he left off. Is that it?
Yeah, yeah. He goes into the womb of the mother of whatever it is, or
Right.
the egg if he turns into a chicken, and gets ready to live as though he's always been a chicken, or always been a horse, or
Right.
always been a pig, or
Always
always
been.
been a dog. And you can, and the dog will, I think dogs often, pet dogs, often have fairly clear, intuitive recollections of when they were humans.
Hmm. So,
You know,
okay.
all these dog walkers walking dogs, picking up
Yeah.
the dog excrements with a piece of plastic and putting it in their purse. Well, the fact is, they're becoming so ritualized over that aspect of the dog that their only good fortune will be to be the person, be the creature that the human goes behind them and picks up the excrements and puts it in their purse. Why should they do it? You know, they did it for the dog. Now they become a dog. They're better off. They don't have to do anything. They get groomed and petted and patted and a nice place to sleep and a nice place to live. So the dog walker becomes a dog.
So the karma carries over to the next,
next body.
Yeah, so the soul has baggage. The soul being part and parcel of Krishna. When the soul leaves this body, according to its deeds in this life and previous lives, this karmic baggage comes with that soul.
Yes, and that's why if you perform samskaras or pujas in ancient times, the pujas nowadays don't do anything. You know, it's sort of like, I did a puja to make money. How much did you spend? Oh, I spent $100 for the puja. How much did you get? Oh, I got 50 cents. You know, the puja isn't worth the effort, money anymore in Kali Yuga. It's worth less. You get back less than what you spend to worship Durga or Kali or something.
So the soul leaves the body. It takes a package with it, which is the karmic.
The karmas, meaning with the mind.
The mind. What did you say? The mind?
Yeah, it goes with the mind into the next body.
But the mind is material, though. The karma is material too, though, right?
Yeah. The body that you was in is material. To have a jiva that's not material with the mind in the body, and the body dies, the mind and it's really a ghost. The mind and the subtle body, the jiva and the subtle body, meaning the mind, leave the body and they go to take birth in another body.
Okay. I'm trying to, Nikhil, we're discussing this. So is it making some sense, or you're more confused?
Well, I hope I'm not confusing you too much.
No.
So,
Mind. So many questions.
Well,
in other words, it's sort of like I like to tell people, strangers, when I meet them, I don't have a soul. And I said, "Wow!" I said, "I am the soul. I have a body." I said, "Just look at it this way: I'm the driver, and I have a car.
Yes, I'm the driver and have a car.
I'm not the car that some people believe has a driver."
So if the soul carries over its material samskaras and material karma, that must mean that the soul also has a spiritual aspect of it, which is part and parcel of Krishna. He also has a mind, or the soul also has a mind too, right? A spiritual mind, to be a servant of Krishna.
No, that is the mind.
What?
See, the whole point of spiritual life is to separate the soul, is to not be guided by the mind if you see, the mind assumes that everything in the body belongs to it. In other words, the mind wants to be the facilitator of the body, to make the body has feeling, to make sure the lips have, a woman's lips have lipstick, to put on mascara, to wear a sari, to brush your teeth. All of those things are body maintenance that have nothing to do with the soul.
Right. We can understand
So-
that, right?
So
Bodily
mind
maintenance.
is in itself
But because the
an ego trip.
person, because the mind is stuck in the body, the mind thinks that I am this body. And it's not the mind thinks, so the mind doesn't think, but the mind is stuck in the body, and the soul attached to the mind and the body says, I am this body. The soul says, I am this body, aham kara, I am this body. And so when the soul chants Hare Krishna, begins to separate from the body, and then he sees the mind is there acting like a total, shall we say, whore, just going over and over and over the body, worshiping the body. And he said, wait a minute, the body is just a bunch of inanimate stuff, you know, sulfur, iron, you know,
So one has to
calcium,
stop the
I
mind
mean,
then.
all sorts of stuff. And why are you imagining? And because the mind has taken on, oh, look how nice it is. And the mind says nice to the soul. And because of the soul being trapped by the mind, the soul says, yeah, very, like if it's a woman, oh, yes, I'm such a beautiful woman. I'm so beautiful. And that's because he's bewildered by the mind. But if the soul takes a shoe and beats the mind 50 times with a shoe, and at night 50 times with a stick, ouch, ouch, ouch. He said, get out of that body. You're not a beautiful woman. You're not that body. That body's going to die and rot. When that body is rotting, do you think you'll think it's beautiful still? You're just fooling yourself. Oh, my grandmother looked so nice when she died in the coffin. She was in her coffin. She looked like she was just sleeping. That's Maya. She's dead. No jiva. No mind. Gone. To the next place. To the court of Yamaraj, maybe. To the next body, maybe. To a higher birth, unlikely. To a lower birth, probably. So the Kanistadakari, if he goes the whole life being Kanistadakari, or what Prabhupada created for Kanistadakari is called ISKCON, if he goes for the whole lifetime as a Kanistadakari, then when he dies, he will take another birth as a Kanistadakari. If he does sinful things, he might take a lower birth for the Kanistadakari. Maybe he'll take a birth for the first 10 years of his life. He has to pay for the sinful things he did. Then he'll see devotees and say, wow, I just got a magazine called Back to Godhead. I think I'll look at that. Not realizing he was a devotee in his previous life. And he'll say, wow, that's great. I'm going to try this out. He doesn't realize he's been a devotee in his past 3 lives, but because he did some sinful stuff, he has to start again as a Kanistadakari. But if he doesn't do sinful things, he'll take birth as a Kanistadakari. How? Well, if man and woman at the lower stage of Kanistadakari will have a child who will be born into probably slightly higher than they are karmically as Kanistadakari, because they were not born Kanistadakari, but he is. Now the next birth and the next birth, time and time again, they go up the scale, taking higher and higher births as Kanistadakaris, until they get to the point of saying, I'm chanting about Hare Krishna, I'm looking at Krishna, I'm seeing the deity of Krishna, I'm tasting Krishna Prasadam, I'm going to playing Mridanga and Kartos. I want to see Krishna. And at that point, is when he begins the process with the guidance of Paramatma to come to the Madhyamadikarya platform, from which he then evolves to the Uttama Adhikari stage under direct, simple, but very refined guidance by Paramatma, bringing the Jiva and Krishna together on the spiritual platform, not on the very nice Kanista Adhikari material platform. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes.
Does that work?
So, yeah. So, Nikhil Prabhu, do you have any more questions, or we can end it here? It's getting late here. So,
We will meet next time. Okay.
okay.
It is
Okay.
12.
Now,
It is 12 here.
Ramachandra, I think one of your thoughts about the Zoom calls is that it interferes, particularly on Saturday, with your visits with your kids.
Yeah, sometimes. Yes, sometimes. Yes.
Well, have you thought that instead of Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday, it could be Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday?
Sometimes I go pick them up Friday. So it's,
Okay,
it's
Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday.
Thursday would be tomorrow. Yes. So
Well,
we
I
can-
mean, Saturday and Sunday are 1 day apart. Wednesday and Thursday. I don't say for this week, but I'm saying in principle that
Sure,
it
yes.
gives you a chance to be involved when you don't have a clash of duties.
Yeah, we can do that. We can arrange for that. So what I'll do is I'll talk it up with our friend, what's his name, Mohit Prabhu, and then we'll figure something out, and we'll
Let's figure something out. Just figure out which are the best days for everybody, including people in India.
Right. Okay. Yes, we'll do
When we
that.
started out, we started out with 7 days a week. Remember?
Yeah, that was crazy.
No, it was beautiful. But we found out that we were spending all of our evenings doing nothing but this program. So we said, oh, let's change it. And you asked me, what did you think? I thought, okay, how about Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday, thinking weekends were when people have time off.
Right.
But when they have time off, they probably do stuff with other people like their family, like you.
Yes.
So maybe we should rethink it. I think that you, Rupa, and I should be on 3 days a week. Not every time, but sometimes. And let's see how Mohit likes doing this. And maybe we could expand it to 4 days a week with Mohit taking one of the days.
Sure.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Let us be flexible and let's not beat ourselves up.
Sounds good, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. So we'll talk about this more.
Yeah,
And,
this was such a nice meeting tonight. I was very happy. Were you?
Yes, Prabhu. Nikhil Prabhu made our day, so he's gonna
Nikhil is amazing. His energy is so paka.
try. All right.
Thank you, man. Love you all. See you next time.
See, we're creating this as we go along. And now you're here, so you can help us. You can create it as we go along too. It's not just that
Yes, everyone is helping each other.
Ramachandra or Mahabharata.
Yes.
Yeah. You can also create as we go along. That's the meaning of this Tagosti. Everyone is an equal.
Yes, that is what God had.
If somebody knows something that somebody else doesn't know, they're not going to say what they don't know in the face of the person that does know. So the person that doesn't know will listen to the person that does know, which happens a lot on these calls. However, that doesn't mean that the person that doesn't know, when he does know, will not get the equal attention. And everyone will listen to him. You see? It's a question of what do you got? What do you got in your bag? What do you got to share with everyone?
All right. So we'll end it here, Prabhus. Thank you very much for joining. Please join the WhatsApp group if you'd like to join us next time.
Thank you for having us.